Welcome back to Capitol Report. I'm Matt Swenson. This is State Representative Roger Reinert. Welcome back, Roger.
Thanks, Matt.
It's good to have you in the studio. It's good to have you folks tune in Duluth to hear what's happening here at the state capitol and hear what Representative Reinert is doing on your behalf. And I know that you folks started out this session focused on a jobs-focused bonding bill, passed that bill already, but you wanted to do more work to get Minnesotans back on the job, and that's why you passed another jobs bill today in the House.
Yeah, you know, the theme of the session has been jobs, 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 and I think it's interesting to actually have a theme for the session. You know, I don't know, as an observer of the legislature, I really noticed that. I don't know that we really had a theme last year other than economic crisis, but you know, jobs, jobs, jobs has been the theme. It was the reason we wanted to get a bonding bill done right away because we knew it would put people to work. And it's the reason that we brought forward the jobs bill today. And it's a bill I know very well as vice chair of the tax committee. The bill went through our committee. It was authored by the chair of the tax committee, Ann Linczewski. And I got to sit through many hours of working through the details of this bill. And there are several provisions that are very important for Duluth and northeastern Minnesota.
And with 3,700 Duluthians out of work right now, this bill couldn't be coming at a more important time. And let's just go through some of the provisions that are in the bill, and particularly those that will have a positive impact on Duluth's economy, starting with the Angel Investor Tax Credit.
Right. So the Angel Investor Tax Credit is a tax credit that is provided to people that basically put their resources into up-and-coming businesses. And the best example we have right in Duluth is Geocom. And I think most Duluthians have heard the name or they've read a little bit about it, but this is a local company. They have an innovative, I think, market-changing product, medical device product. And these are folks that live in Duluth. They're starting their business in Duluth. They're developing their product in Duluth. They want to manufacture that product in Duluth, and they want to stay in the Northland. And one of the things that has tempted similar companies in the past to leave Minnesota is the lack of this angel investor credit. So when you're a new business and you're starting up, one of the challenges you have is collecting enough resources to take your product to market. Get it developed, get it marketed, all that sort of thing, let people know that it's out there. And other states have provided this angel investor tax credit, and Minnesota has not. So we've actually lost some businesses to other states because of it. So here's a great way to be able to say to a business like Geocom and hundreds like it across the state of Minnesota, you don't have to go somewhere else. Minnesota's your home, you're here, you like the quality of life, this is where you want to stay, and we're able to now help you stay here and take your business to the next level.
And another important provision of the bill is the Historic Preservation Credit, which will bring a lot of jobs to Minnesota.
Well, and it's a bill, again, we in Duluth know very, very well. I mean, we're blessed to have a community that is unique. We're not a big box community. We have a lot of history, both in terms of architecture and culture. And one of the things that I learned right away when I joined the City Council in 2004 was the necessity for the state to have a historic tax credit that matched a current federal one. Because the combination of those two would actually allow redevelopment of historic structures to be competitive with bulldozing and building new. And it was something that was sort of actually saw one of the advocates in the hallway as I was walking back from the Capitol, and we stopped and chatted for a minute, and I said, you know, this is one of those things that we've always talked about, but I never thought would happen, and it's done. You know, we know that the governor is going to sign this bill, and so Minnesota is now going to have a historic state tax credit that will match the federal one and will make the rehab of the wonderful buildings and historical assets we have in Duluth viable. And that's exciting. And you know, it's interesting when you get a nice combination of developers and historic preservation folks that are all on the same team saying this is good, we should do it.
And another very, very important provision in the bill for Duluth, which has gotten a lot of attention back home in Duluth, is this Job Z extension that you added to the bill as vice chair of the tax committee.
Right, and of course this is targeted at, I've not been a fan of Job Z. I think I voted against it on the council every time it came up, but if there ever was a time for a Job Z project, now is the time, and if there ever was an example, this is the one. So we have this major European wind turbine manufacturer that's looking at, they're down to Ohio and Minnesota, and in Minnesota they're looking at Duluth and the Range to bring their entire North American operation, manufacturing, corporate headquarters, training facility, and I had a chance to meet these folks a couple weeks ago, and the first thing they said is, would you be able to do this extension of an existing Job Z zone? It would help make Minnesota competitive with Ohio as we looked at making our decision. So we've taken a provision that provides for existing Job Z. It's not expanding the program. It's not creating new locations. It's just taking some existing locations and extending the length of those. And I got that provision included in the bill. The bill was passed off the House floor this morning, and when we got to the session, we had a letter on our desk from the governor saying he intended to sign this bill. So really, there were 3 really important things in that bill for Duluth and northeastern Minnesota, and we got it done, and I'm very happy about that.
And I think it's important to be clear on that Jobs Z extension, and that could bring as many as 1,300 jobs to Duluth.
Right, high-paying, high-tech production jobs, Cirrus, North Star Aerospace sorts of jobs. It could be literally the start of an entire new segment of our economy, and that's you combine that with a company like Geocom, you combine that with the Google Fiber initiative, and Duluth could be a very different place in 2 years because of all these exciting changes. And it's really invigorating to see, because of community leadership, that the challenge of this current recession is being met head on, and that we could be emerging from this recession just an exponentially better community with a vibrant, very vibrant economy.
Well, a lot of good work here happening here at the state capitol as you guys go into Easter Passover break. Right. Thank you so much, Representative Reinert, and thank you for tuning in at home. We'll see you next time on Capitol Report.